helpful tip, if you ever need to like set up something for someone, or if you've ordered a bow and you are gonna sell it and then set up the new one when it comes, here's a little trick for you. If you've got a bow that you just love it and you know the draw length is exactly where you want it to be, which this guy had a bow that he really liked. So instead of me having to like try to fine tune his draw length perfectly, I had him draw that bow back and marked the arrow right here. You can see that where I've marked the arrow, and I marked the arrow to the center of that burger button because usually, according to what you're supposed to do, that hole should be right above pivot point right here. So it gets you so dang close. So if you ever do have a bow and you loved it, couple numbers you should always save. Mark an arrow exactly to that burger button. When you draw it back to full draw, mark it perfectly, circle that. Right on your veins, do not touch my draw length. And then you've always got it. The other measurement you should do is when you draw that bow back and your bow's at a triangle, measure from the P-pipe straight down to the center of the arrow shaft. At full draw, that distance is going to always be the same depending on where you anchor and your eye height. So knowing that number is really important. If you always shot the same axle length bow and you always had the exact same string angle, you could measure it at rest, which I do that a lot of times when I'm not changing very much. I'll measure from the top of the nocking point to the center of the peep. But if you really want to know your perfect thing and you have a bow that's absolutely your favorite, then I would recommend full draw, peep to center of the arrow shaft. And then if you have those numbers, that's great.